Yeah. Kartel Talk. ABQ, stand up. Hey! Turn it up. Hey! Turn it up. Yeah. From the 5-5 to the whole wide map. We in Duke City, put the truth on wax. Mic on the table, mismatched chairs. Desert in the window, we just breathe that air.
What is up, Kartel? I'm your host, Lobo. Welcome to Kartel Talk. Today, we have a man whose story is built through pain, resilience, and purpose. Originally from Osan, South Korea, his life changed forever after losing his younger brother to addiction and later his father. Instead of letting that pain break him, he turned it into a mission, dedicating his life to helping others fight addiction, anxiety, and depression. As a director and partner of Crossroads Treatment Centers, a former national level power lifter and bodybuilder, a proud father of 4, everything he does is driven by one thing: family, purpose, and impact. In his very own words, without purpose, you'll never have direction. Let's welcome Jimmy, also known as Jimbo.
What's up, Alex? Thank you for having me on here. So Alex brought me on here. We've known each other at the gym. I've supported him, his channel, everything from the get-go because he's about the community and the people and helping families. So am I. I think that's why we click so good.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for coming, man. I appreciate it.
So here's the nitty-gritty. I guess you guys want to know a little bit more about me. So a long time ago, I had a younger brother. His name is Chris. Unfortunately, he took his own life. He took his own life due to depression and opioid addiction. It killed us all. My mom and my dad. I don't have a big family. I never grew up with grandparents. I never grew up with cousins, aunts, and uncles. I had one brother and my mom and dad, all grown up. That's it. So that's why family is first always.
Right.
And helping people. So shortly after that, my brother did that. My father got diagnosed with Lou Gehrig's disease, ALS. And after my brother passing, we found his suicide letter. And he laid it on the table for all of us to read. Pretty much, he felt like he was the black sheep in the family. He let my parents down, let me down, and he met a girl, married her. We didn't know.
Wow.
What the crazy thing was, Alex, is we went to go get his body from the morgue, and they wouldn't even let us because they said you're not next to kin. So we were like, what the hell are you talking about, man?
Yeah.
My mom, my dad, and me, we're here. They're all, he's married. I was like, holy shit. So I had to go find this girl. Mm-hmm. And the sad thing was, and I don't think he brought it up to my family, is she was a stripper.
Oh, wow. So he was kind of trying to hide her?
Yeah.
From the family.
He knew my family would probably tarnish him for it. So I had to go find her. She was a stripper at Shotgun Willie's in Denver.
Okay.
And I found her and I said, I need you to sign this release. She didn't want to. I was like, what do you mean? She's just like, I'll do it when I'm ready. I said, no, you're going to do it now. And then she called the bouncers. And I was just like, I will fucking clean house before I leave this place without a signature,
Yeah.
And long story short, I ended up calling a couple of my DEA buddies. They knew the captain out there. They made a phone call. And they pretty much showed up with like 6 car units. And they said, pretty much, we'll condemn this place and close it down until further notice if you don't sign this.
Oh, wow.
So it took that for her to sign. So we got to get his body and do a proper funeral and all this. And then after my dad reading the suicide letter, it's like he let himself go.
Mm-hmm.
His progression just sped up. And it hurt my dad because him and my brother had a falling out. My parents were spending 40 grand a year for his college, and he was a bar manager at nighttime, you know?
Yeah.
So my dad and him had it. They didn't talk for 2 years. So my brother pretty much said, sorry, Dad, I let you down, blah, blah, blah. And it killed my dad.
Yeah.
So, and my mom blamed my dad for his death. So that was real hard on my mom, my dad. And then probably my dad lasted another year and a half after that. And he passed away. So it was just me and my mom and my 2 kids at the time.
Yeah.
So I was like, shit, I need to figure this out, keep my mom strong. So in the midst of all that, I'm trying to keep my mom strong, be there for my own 2 kids, still trying to figure out why my brother did what he did. And guys, I'm going to tell you this. You'll never find the answers for the questions you seek when you lose somebody like that.
The whys.
No.
Yeah.
I spent years searching, and all it did is dug me in a black hole.
That's tough, man. I mean, I've never lost anyone like that, but I can only imagine like all the questions that you had, right? Like, what could you have done differently, or what could have anyone done differently? And
well, why I take it hard is a month before my brother did it, he reached out to me, and at that time I was a manager at a retail store.
Yeah,
and they would not let us during winter. It's called blackout season, so they don't let anybody take off. It's our busiest season of the year. So I was like, I can't make it, bud.
Yeah.
I said, maybe after. He goes, well, okay. Well, come to find out, he did it on New Year's Eve. So,
so how is New Year's now? Like New Year's Eve, is it tough? Is it? Because how long has it been now?
2009.
Oh wow!
So it's still tough.
Of course,
it's gotten better throughout the years. But what's even hard, a lot of people don't know this, is my brother. His name was Chris. He was born June 20th.
Okay.
My son Chris was born June 20th.
That's wild.
So we named him after my brother.
Like reincarnation in a sense.
Yeah, it was crazy because, and my brother, he was still around when my son Chris was born, so I named him after him.
Would you say that Chris, your son, has like similarities to your brother?
In a way, it's fucking crazy. He's the only left-handed like my brother in the family, but my brother was academic smart.
Okay.
My son is dumb as shit. Dumb as shit when it comes to books, but smart when it comes to common sense.
Yeah.
So he's smart, street smart.
Right.
But you give him something to do and he has to read it, he's like, what the hell? Yeah. So that's the only thing different, but stubbornness is the same.
Okay.
Fighting and
work ethic,
you know, those are the same.
Yeah.
So that's what's crazy.
And your son Chris, man, he's a good dude. I mean, I see him at the gym all the time. He's a good dude. He's humble. He's a good looking kid. Like just everything about him. He seems like he's came from a good family, of course.
Yeah, I mean, me and his mom Michelle, she we had the same principles. You know?
Okay.
It's just just like your page, right? Everything is earned, not given.
Right.
You know, I was raised that way. My family was pretty off. You know, my dad, you know, he was one of the higher ups at Intel, all these things. So we lived a good life. But since I was 8 years old, I was a busboy at my mom's restaurants. And my dad would make me mow everybody's yard in the weekends.
Yeah, make you earn it.
Yeah, you know, it's crazy. I was like, fuck, everybody's playing but me.
Yeah, well, you know what? That's funny because I think, like, even like myself, like back in the day, my dad would party like a rock star on the weekends. And there I am smashing cans on Sunday mornings.
Yeah.
And I would fill up like 50-gallon barrels full of cans for him to go ahead and recycle and refill his addiction, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. And that's unfortunate to, you know, hear that. And it's a lot of families out there, you know, and, you know, going through all that all my life, living like that, I teach my kids the same principle.
Right.
You know, I don't care. If somebody gives you something for free, you're going to pay for it later, one way or another. So just think about that before you put your hand out, you know?
Yeah.
And I've taught all my kids that, and people around me growing up.
So you have 4 kids. Is it 3 boys and 1 daughter?
Yeah, so I have Donovan. He's 22.
Okay.
He's in school for pharmacy and cybersecurity.
Okay.
And he's a pharmacy tech at Sam's. And then I got Chris, who just graduated, who works at the gym, but he's going into trade school in August to be an electrician.
Ooh, that's where the money's at.
Yeah. And then I got Camila, who's 6, who is a princess, and no matter what I say or do, she runs my world. It sucks that I'm that weak around her.
That's how they are, man.
And then I got Logan. That guy, he is, Donovan, Chris, they didn't give me a hard life. Camila, it's just because she's a princess, and that's the only reason why it's a hard life.
Yeah.
And then Logan, that little fucker. Yeah, that guy, he pushed me. He pushes my buttons every day, puts me to the test, but I love him. He's the biggest heart. He does things without thinking. Automatic, his motive is just go. Do it. If I want to do it, I'm going to do it. And then I'll pay for the consequences. That's just him.
That's how my youngest one is. He's wild, man. He stresses me out more than anyone. And
what eggs it on is she laughs. She'll laugh.
Yeah.
She'll just laugh, and he thinks it's funny. He's just like, she's laughing, Dad.
It's just a show. He's just controlling the circus. That's all it is.
Yeah, exactly. So, fast forward, dealing with that. At the time I was retail management, and I was consumed with how many hours a week I worked. I made a good living. I made a lot of money. But shit, the sacrifice of working 78 hours a week and then not seeing my family all the time and all that, it got to me after a while. Well, one of my great customers who turned out to be a great friend, Darren, he was running a company called Recovery Services, who helped out people with opioid addiction, and anxiety, depression, all these things. That guy will give off the shirt off his back to help anybody. So he said one day, he goes, Jimmy, I need security. Because he knew my younger years, I bounced. I bounced at every club, bar. I enjoyed that shit. I had fun. And I met a lot of people, and met a lot of law enforcement back then, and cool people, So I have lots of stories with that, and we can do that on another one if you want.
Of course.
But he just said, I can't pay you what you make now, but if you're willing to look at it and tell me what you think and help me out, because there's stabbings, shootings, and all this crap that happens out there. He goes, I just need to know what's going on.
Yeah.
And I can't put my foot in the people we have on there just not doing the job. So I acted like pretty much a patient. Nobody knew why I was there for a little bit. I was observing and all these things. And I gave him my feedback after a couple of weeks. And he goes, cool, when can you start? I was like, well, Darren. So we started off part-time, like I did on weekends, and helped him out. And then it just grew into this thing where I took control of the security. I handled things. I hired the right people, and we cleaned it up, and then Cindy Hernandez, she's the director there too, and we call her Mama Bear. She's always just helping people. She's like the HR lady, the mom, the enforcer, but she kept things going, and so she brought me more into the world of her side too. And then it came into, hey, I want you to be a director. I want you to do this. Well, fast forward, the company was so good. Darren, Dave, and Evan Baldwin, they sold the company.
Okay.
For buku bucks.
Of course.
So here we all are, and we're like, all right. This new company took over, and our motto is we take care of the employees and put the patients first at all cost. That's how the business works.
Of course. That's how it should be.
I don't care about metrics. I don't care about dollars. Dollars will actually happen automatically when you take care of the people. So, and we believe that. But this company that took over didn't do that. So patients, employees, and everything was like, hey, we need you guys back.
And that was here in Albuquerque?
Yeah. And so me, Darren, and Cindy got together, and we decided to open up and get Crossroads treatment centers are up and running.
Okay, how'd you guys come up with the name?
Darren just said everybody in a point of life comes to a crossroad where they have to make a decision, right? So he's like, crossroads.
Right, so that's how my bone finds the harmony.
Exactly. So, and we're going to be the person in the middle of that crossroad that helps them. You know, every patient that comes in or every person that comes in, they come in with 5% of hope because they've already been let down by the world,
Family.
community, family. You know, and I understand why, you know, family can take only so many screw overs, promises, broken promises. And they're like done. They're burnt out. But there comes a point in somebody's life that light bulb will trigger. But it takes something either traumatic or a life event or something to happen, right? So we're hoping that they come to us with that 5% of hope and let us guide them. And that's why I created that purpose. Without purpose, you'll never have direction. I believe that in anything in life. If you don't create a purpose for yourself, you're going to chase your tail. You're just going to end up in square one again.
Yeah.
So what we do different is we help all of our patients find a purpose. We make them feel like family. I don't care what your past is. I don't care what you've done. I just care about what we're going to do here going forward.
Yeah.
What can we do to put you right back on the, you know,
back on track. Yeah.
And then the best stories I have is years to come is when you see these people and you make them believe and have hope and be excited and their sobriety. They're like, hey, I haven't done a drug or drink alcohol in a year or 2 years. Heck yeah, that's what we want to hear. And then when they say, hey, Jimmy, check it out. I bought my first car instead of taking the bus all the time, you know, or bumming rides. Hey, Jimmy, you know, me and my family, I got a baby now. I bought our first house. I love hearing that. That's what makes it purpose. And for me in this world, it's my way of telling my brother I'm still here for him. And that's what gives me the drive.
Your purpose.
Exactly. And you see me in the gym, I'm the same way.
Yeah.
You know, anybody in the gym, I'm a gym goer and I've been through it and I'm known for a lot of things in the gym, you know, but that's my purpose is to help people. People who are at the gym, people think it's physical. Nah, 80% of that is mental.
Yeah.
They go in there for their own clarity. They'll go in there for mind, peace.
For that 1 to 2 hours of working out, nothing else matters.
Correct. And they can release whatever they're holding in.
Yeah.
You know, so those are the things that I look at. I observe people at the gym. I watch. And those are the things that I think that what separates us, me and you, from the rest of the world is we do that. We want to help people that struggle. And I can see either the pain behind their eyes, the anger, or the shutdown.
Yeah.
I can see why they're there. And my job is to figure it out.
I mean, life is a puzzle.
It is.
You know, and sometimes people come in with missing puzzles to their lives, and it's our job as friends and family to kind of try to put that puzzle back together in a way. And, you know, kind of when you said back about going back and what's more like, what kind of keeps you going is when they come back and everyone lost hope in this person. And then all of a sudden they just flourish and they become a different person. And now they have purpose again. Like how awesome it is, you know, like when you have something that's demolished and you can like make it whole again, or even better than when it was.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like when people remodel like these old cars that are rusted and motorcycles and houses and even people now.
Oh,
it's amazing.
It is exactly what you just said, because if you don't have the right people to direct your herd, right, the herd's going to go scattered, right?
Yeah.
And that's why I hate to say this because education is important, but I don't give a shit about your PhD, your degree.
Right.
I care about your heart. Where's your heart? You know, so like Cindy, Darren, I got Mario, you know, we got a bunch. And then our doctors. So a lot of people don't know this. When our first year of business, we were open, we weren't making money. We weren't, and we weren't accredited by insurances, nothing. We took care of all of our patients free.
That's crazy.
We ate it. And Darren just said, I don't care. Darren's the main guy. He goes, I don't care what it takes.
How old is Darren?
He's 62 now.
62.
And that guy came from nothing too. And he built himself. And, it's just, you meet good people like that. He taught me a lot in life, especially as a person, as a manager, as a partner, everything. He's taught me a lot. Most humble guy. He wears jeans and a t-shirt, shorts, drives a Porsche.
Couldn't even tell.
Yeah, you can't even tell. But he sees anybody on the street, he gives them food, money, whatever. Or can I take you somewhere? He's that guy. So those are the people we want. Because I want somebody who has an experience, somebody who has lost somebody, somebody who has been through it with people that had depression, anxiety disorders, or opioid addiction. Those are the people that can relate to our patients. Not somebody who goes, on this chapter,
says,
on page 4, go to this step, No. A patient's going to say, you're not real. They can read you.
Well, it's even like now, like if you go to the doctors, right? That's kind of how like anyone can do that job now. They just check the boxes and then it tells you, all right, well, this doesn't work. So let's move on to the next set of boxes. Yeah. That's all it is.
Yeah, and it's a chart. They're following a little chart. But if you go to our facility, none of my doctors are that way.
Yeah.
They go above and beyond. They go out of the realm of what we're supposed to do to help that patient. Some of them give them their personal numbers. Call me anytime, man. Sometimes they regret it, but
yeah, of course.
But that's the heart they have.
Yeah.
And same thing. The full first year, they're like, you don't pick us. We know you guys are going to come up, and when you do, take care of us then. We're here to help. That's the kind of people we want,
Let me just make sure it's recording, okay? I know, there's no keep one.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that's the people we want in the business, and that's what we want in our clinics. People who can go out of their way to help our patients. Yeah. There's things that we do unorthodox, different from other clinics, and that's what makes us unique because we put our patients first. Me, Darren, and Cindy were just like, we don't care. Take care of the patient and we'll deal with the ramifications after.
Later.
Who cares? At the end of the day, patients first, and our employees.
And you know what? Like, I can see where you're coming from, like the passion, because of your brother and trying to find the mission, So, for example, with Jiu-Jitsu Kartel, anytime we have tournaments, right? Mm-hmm. I can't tell you how many times, like, people have, like, thanked me just for hosting an event. Like, man, like, I was going through such a hard time. I lost my son, or I lost my daughter. I lost my parents. I lost my job. I gained 80 pounds. So by you calling me, I cut all this weight just to compete. Like, it gave me a purpose again, like that motivation, And, even if I put $10,000 award for the champion, right? Them feeling that empty spot and dedicating themselves to go back to training and losing weight and becoming more healthy is more valuable than those $10,000.
Oh shit, yeah.
And that's my purpose. It like drives me because it makes me it makes it like worth everything that we're doing. Like people, like we are actually helping people, not just throwing events and having the clothing brand. Like we're actually have a mission to help people, kind of like you, but in a different aspect.
At the end of the day, it's really the reality is the same purpose, right? We're here to help people.
Yeah.
At the end of the tunnel, we're all seeking acknowledgement.
Yeah.
Somebody to say thank you or something to be proud of. That's what you do. That's what I do.
Yeah.
So, and that's why you have grown so fast, and it's going to grow. And I'm proud of you, Alex, because, when I first met you at Define Fitness way back in the day, we would just go there and you're like, oh, I can't wait to fucking retire, and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And then now you're like, I retire. What do I do?
Yeah.
And you created this purpose for you.
Yeah.
To help others. Just like I had to. I could have retired. I could have just said, screw it, laid back. Yeah. Then what? What am I going to do? You know, our minds work too fast, too hard. Just sit back and do nothing, right?
Yeah.
And you and I also see what's going on in our community, our state, the world, and we see it. And it sucks. And it's unfortunate. But I think the more and more people we can touch and reach out, that'll create them to look that way too.
And you know what? I always tell people like people always message me and you know, just very thankful people, you know. And I'm always like I always tell them like, you know what? Like I can't save the world, but fuck, I'm gonna try.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try. Like I will go down. Like I may never be able to see all everything, all the opportunities I given, and that's okay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But if I can at least give someone purpose or someone motivation to be the change of thousands and hundreds of thousands and possibly millions, that's all that matters, man.
Exactly. You know, it's like in my world, I can't save all the patients.
Yeah.
I can't. We've seen a lot come and go. And it's unfortunate when they do pass or make a stupid decision or something. It sucks. Because I was like, if I had a little bit more time, or if you always say that and you just don't know. But the ones that we do make an impact, that's worth it to me.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just, you know, I teach everybody who's around me. You can ask, you know, it's crazy is all my old employees are like my great friends now. Wow. They followed me. I had friends that worked for me for many, many years. Like Mario, he worked for me for almost 14 years, and he's still with me. He's one of my managers at the clinics. So he runs the show. Yeah. But he came from nothing too. You know, he struggled and, you know, came here illegally, and he did it the right way, became a citizen, everything. So proud of him. You know, and that's my purpose is, hey, now I can teach you, I can show you. He has a heart and soul. Now I know the business is taking care of the clinic, the people, because he has the same heart, same idea. Same with you. The more and more people you touch, they can touch others and spread that, right? And that's the hope we have. You know, it's just, but at the end of the day, Alex, we have to have that purpose, because if not, what keeps us strong to do it? There's going to be times we're exhausted, times we're just like, shit. But without that purpose, we're not going to keep fighting for it, right?
Yeah.
You know, you're in the gym, you're at the gym, you're doing this, you know, you're doing jujitsu, you're beating up your body, you're killing your body, and you still have the energy to do this and spread. You know, I'm at the gym all damn day. I know. And at the clinic.
And I kind of just see like the people around you, you know, like they have so much love for you. You know, they may not say it, but they definitely have a lot of passion for you. They're investing in you because you're investing in them. And it's beautiful to see, because there's a lot of personal trainers. So check this out. 2017, I wanted to do an NPC show. Okay.
You told me this.
I was 241 pounds. Okay. So I was a little bit bigger than I am now. Now, homeboy, I hired a personal trainer. And now that everything's set and done, it was just $1 for him. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, for example, this guy was pumping me with all kinds of gear. My meal preps were insane. I mean, I lost 51 pounds in 12 weeks.
But he didn't give a shit about your health.
He didn't care. He never checked in on me. You know, there was days when I had to go do my poses with him. I wouldn't show up because I was just in the bad. I mean, I was on deck. I was on trend. So my man,
your head wasn't there.
I wasn't there, and he didn't care. He just saw the dollar. Hey man, send me the payment. Hey, send me the payment. I'm like, man, you know, and like he wasn't there for me. And not only was I battling that, right, the being tired, all the gear, the hormones, the emotions, but at the same time, when you go from bench pressing 375 and I couldn't even do 205 for one rep, that in itself, like, just destroyed me too. I'm like, what am I doing this for? So then I remember we were 4 weeks out, and he was like, hey, I need you to cut 15 more pounds. I'm like, oh, I can't do it. So that's when I backed out. I was already like right under 190.
So you cut 50 pounds?
51 pounds. Unhealthy.
That's excessive.
Excessive. And like I said, like I started getting
You
like
probably lost a lot of muscle too.
Oh, I did. I mean, going bench pressing 375 down to 205.
Yeah,
that's wild. You know, that's a huge. I mean,
you should still be at 80% where you were.
And people were like, "Hey, man, like, are you okay? You look sick." I'm like, I know. Like I remember it was during Balloon Fiesta, and like all my family was eating, and I was just sipping on black coffee and green tea, and it made me hate the sporting. It made me hate lifting weights. I just didn't want
mentally,
to. Mentally,
it just tore you down.
Yeah. And then, like, you know, obviously, for like 2 weeks, like after I kind of doing the towel, like I was still, my metabolism was crazy. I was still eating and still staying like within those 2-3 pounds. And then all of a sudden, like my metabolism slowed down.
And the nervous system took over.
I'm sure.
Shut down.
Yeah. But you know what? Like it was.
So what gave you the drive to come back after all that?
The honest truth is, I never want my daughter to have a boyfriend bigger than I am. And if he ever wants to,
fucking truth.
And if he ever wants to get crazy, like that's just what it is, you know. Like it's funny now because my sons would tell me, "Oh, we can't wait to get bigger. We're gonna kick your ass, Dad." I'm like, "What? Like, what are you talking about?"
My boys tell me that shit all the time. I'm like, "I'll be ready."
It was funny. My youngest son the other day, we were having dinner, and he's like, "Hey, Dad." I'm like, "What's up, buddy?" He's like, "I'm just warning you. If I ever hear you yell at my kids, I'm gonna lose it." Bro, you're 5. Settle down.
Telling you it was 5, but that's good that they have that drive. You know, both my older boys, they tell me the same shit all the time, and I'm just like, look, I'm not worried. It'll be time. I'll be in a fucking wheelchair, and you'll be giving me applesauce and my vitamins before that happens. You know, but I am grateful that my daughter has 3 brothers.
Okay.
And they're gonna watch after her. They're gonna, especially Chris. So, Chris will tear up everybody.
This is the part,
and I'll be the final boss.
Yeah, of course. But this is the part that scares me, right? That's kind of my mentality. I'm like, well, you know, my daughter's gonna be at a certain age, and she's gonna have her brothers, and they're gonna back her up, you know. But here's the thing, right? Like, what scares me is that in today's age,
Yeah.
Like back in the day, right? You had 3 brothers. You throw, you know, you're gonna throw some hooks, and someone's gonna get beat up, and someone's gonna go home not having a very good day.
Your ass.
Now, I'm like, if that happens and someone takes like one of their lives, that's scary because it's easy to pull out.
And then you're gonna feel, and it's gonna hit you, and that's an unfortunate thing. But that's why us as parents, we got to teach them to be aware of their surroundings.
Yeah.
When I was bouncing, man, at all these clubs and bars, I had to teach all my men to like be aware, stand in the corners. Never go to the floor. You're exposing yourself.
Yeah.
You stand in the corner, you observe. Radio. Always have somebody back to back with you.
So were you a bouncer at a strip club at any point?
Oh, yeah.
How
Ice House.
Oh, Ice House? Was I here in Albuquerque?
Yeah.
That was right there by where that, where's that? It was in the corner kind of by that, where they filmed.
The railroad, yeah.
Yes.
Yes, it was a shithole. They had Ping Pong Sally there.
Was that like a biker place?
Yes. But I only worked there like maybe 6 months because I knew shit was going to go down. I saw undercovers, all this shit. And sure enough, after I left there, like 4 or 5 months, that place got shut down. Wow. So I was just like, I knew that shit was going to happen.
Something was happening.
But I've seen it. Seen the craziest shit, you know. I got stories for days for bouncing and all that. But, you know, but going back to that, that's why it takes us as parents to teach our kids to be aware, learn gun control, learn how to use everything, and, you know, when's a perfect place and time. I mean, there's not really a perfect place, but be prepared, you know. And unless you're threatened or somebody in your family's threatened, you will never engage. You know? Walk away.
I mean, there's been times when my wife and I will go to Dirty Bourbon and we'll go dance, right? And I guess maybe it's now because I'm older, but we'll go to Dirty Bourbon, and now Dirty Bourbon is full of like not country dancers anymore. It's
hipsters.
It's hipsters and gang members and you name it, right? It's everyone. And there was one time I bumped into a guy, and it was my fault. So I turned around and I knocked over his drink and my drink.
Shit.
The old me would probably check them, you know what I mean? But I was like, it happened so fast, just the way I thought about it. I was like, if I were to do that, I was like, I'm gonna have to look over my shoulder all night. It's gonna ruin my night. I'm gonna lose paying attention to my wife and not really have fun anymore. What happens if I leave? I get shot or stabbed or followed home or something worse happens, or I get jumped. So I used $6. I bought him another beer, and that was it.
And peace.
But a lot of people now is like, I think it's the older guy mentality now is that I don't want, like, am I afraid to fight people? No. But do I really want to have a broken nose? Do I want to have a chipped tooth? Do I want to break my knuckles? You know what I mean? Like, do I want to get sued?
That's what sucks. And bouncing back in my days, we didn't have camera phones. We didn't have any of that shit. We're going to fuck you up, and drag you out to the cops. That's how it was every fucking night. We just knew. And and I was the doorman. The object is you're a bouncer. You want to be the doorman because you get the biggest tips. So when you're the doorman, you're the biggest tips. You're in control. And then you take your 2-3 top bouncers with you. You tip them out too. But that's how we did it. But, back then we didn't have any of that shit. There was no, sue me for what? What are you guys... You fucking started it so that we finished it. Yeah. What other proof do you have? And usually the cops would be like, hey, did you learn your lesson? If you didn't, we'll take you to the station. If not, shake hands. And usually, I'd always taught my guys, if they were belligerent drunk and just being assholes and they caused a fight and we had to put them down, you shake their hand and say, hey, clean up. Next time you come in, I'm going to buy you a drink. Let me buy you a drink. And we'll have a good time next time.
That's fair.
And that's what I taught, and it's just, and it kept things cool, because if not, like you said, 3:30 in the morning when you're leaving the club or the bar, you're always watching your back.
Yeah.
You're going to see who's following you in your car. All this shit, it's not worth that. But if you create and understand, you know how to control. Like, shit. What's that? Roadhouse. Patrick Swayze. He had to control, teach him. The reality is that if you want to be a great bouncer, is that, so, but going back to our kids and our daughter with that, all I can think, I know you're the same way as my daughter, and guys, you're like, you don't have to worry about as much. You're worried about all the guys around your girl, all this shit. But I'm confident my boys will handle the situation in a controlled. And if not, they will call me right away.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure my daughter's smart enough to know better. Or, you can't bench more than my dad. I'm not going to even talk to you. That's what I want,
So let's talk about that. So when did you start getting into powerlifting? Or did you do bodybuilding or powerlifting first?
I did bodybuilding first.
Ooh,
I did the opposite.
Were you like classic physique or what were you?
No, so there wasn't all these
classes.
It was just open. Pretty much open or fucking swimsuit. That was it, right?
Okay.
So I did open, and I was a big boy. My off season, I'd be 308, 310, and my stage weight, I was like 256. Shredded. I was a big boy. But
how much gear were you on? A lot of gear back then?
You know what? I'm not on what all these people fucking take today. I've never taken a gram of anything back then. Maybe 600.
How much is a gram? Like if someone says I'm on a gram of test, how much is that?
So just think of this: you take a 200 milligram bottle, right?
Okay.
Per cc, right? So that's 5 cc's per week. Yeah.
That is crazy.
Yeah, that's a gram. 1,000 milligrams is 1 gram. So yeah, that's crazy shit. So these guys would take now grams and all this shit. I'm like, but also too, back then, I think the quality of anabolics was way better. It wasn't cut, not fuckers making it in their basement, all this shit. It was pharmaceutical grade back then.
Yeah.
But you paid for it, But just like you, I killed myself. I won Mr. New Mexico in 2003. All these things, right? So, but when I went to NPC Nationals, 4th place. Okay. They told me what I needed to work on. I hate to admit it to everybody, but my fucking calves could not grow for fucking shit. I had 33-inch quads, but my calves fucking size of my fucking wrist. It just pissed me off.
Yeah.
And I even took this stuff called PGF1 or Luteolus.
Okay.
And it would split your cells to make them grow, right? And that shit was fucking like $500 a month. And that was back then, man. So I'm working like 4 fucking jobs to fucking feed this fucking
Just to grow your calves.
Yeah. And it was the most painful shot, right? And I'd shoot it, and then it's crazy. It'd make you fucking, it's a diuretic too or some shit, because I'd have to fucking diarrhea right after too.
That's crazy.
But my calves are seized up from it, so I'm trying to fucking walk to the shitter without shitting my pants, and then you're in pain for 30 minutes, right? I did that shit for 6 months to grow my calves it was 1 5/8 inches, bro. I was like, fuck this, $500 a month. So in 6 months, I spent $3,000 to grow my calves, 1 5/8 inches.
So did you get off of it? I mean,
Fuck
but
yeah.
once you got off of it, did your calves go back to a regular size?
No, I just kept beating them up. I do them 3, 4, fucking 5 days a week just to make sure.
Yeah.
And it's genetics. Anybody says that otherwise, you're full of shit. I fucking done every kind of calf exercise, workout. I've done 1,000 rep challenges. I've done heavy ass weight. I've done all that shit, and it don't fucking work.
Not even a pump.
Fuck no. So, but yeah, I was taking a lot of stuff, but the difference is I listened. I knew slow and steady is the best way to grow in quality. I hate to say this, but look at the quality of muscle and the bodybuilders in the 90s and the 2000s.
Well, yeah, I mean, you look at Ronnie Coleman back then, right?
Yeah.
Compared to the guys now.
Kevin Levrone, Flex Wheeler, all those guys.
The only one that I saw like potential of having like as big as Jay Cutler or is it Lee Price, right? No. Yeah,
Lee Priest.
Lee Priest.
blonde
And
myth.
Ronnie Coleman is the only one that had that potential that was kind of in this new phase was that Dallas.
McCarver.
But, I mean, he died young, 23, 24.
Yeah, he died young.
And he had like a great physique. Like his waist was small. Now you have all these guys with like huge stomachs.
Blocky.
Like what's his name? That Ronnie guy, Winkler.
Oh, yeah.
He has some sick arms, chest,
Best
back,
triceps in the business.
but his stomach is out of control.
Yeah, GH stomach. And that's what growth hormone does, is it enlarges your organs and your
Intestines,
hands, feet, everything. That's why you look like a fucking caveman. I did growth hormone, but I didn't go. The highest I ever did was like maybe 6 units a day on my peak. But that's it. But I tried to get to that level, you need to add insulin and IGF. And I tried insulin and I fucked myself up. If you're off by micrograms, it'll fuck you up. You'll go into diabetic shock. And I almost went into one. I was like, nah. And that's what made me just say, fuck this. I'm killing my body for what?
Yeah.
So I got into powerlifting because I was always been pretty strong in high school. I can bench my body weight for fucking 50 something reps. And that was like 189, and I think I did 355 in high school, and I was pretty damn strong. And then when I got into bodybuilding, of course, being on the PEDs, I was real strong. I was ripping out 405 for 12 to 15 reps. I was squatting 600 pounds for reps.
Is that when you realize like, hey, I'm actually
I've had
strong.
a lot of power lifters say, you need to fucking come into powerlifting. I was like, nah, I don't want to.
You just want it to look good.
Yeah. So after that, I was like, you know what? I'm going to try it. I waited a year and got in my first powerlifting meet. I fucking won. And at that time I was 236. So I won. And then I grew all the way. I went to the 275s heavyweight. But after that, I didn't want to go higher than 275 because those guys were fucking animals. That's like when you're competing with strongmen motherfuckers.
Yeah.
And they would just put me under. So, but I loved it. And then
when you did New Mexico, like I guess meets or tournaments, like were you like what would you rank upon like?
I was fourth in the national level.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I was ranked.
So you were number
fourth.
1 in New Mexico.
Oh yeah. My first little show was in New Mexico. I went back. Then I did Arizona, and I did Florida,
Mm-hmm.
and then I did Texas for my last meet. And then I was going to do one more, and then 10 days out, I did you went about 2 weeks out, 10 days out, you do one more heavy sesh,
Yeah.
and then you rest, right, until your meet. Well, I had 765 on the bar, and I was stepping out, and you're supposed to hold in your core because that's a lot of weight to shift.
Yeah, like a barrel.
And all I can remember was I took a deep breath in between and stepping out to adjust myself. I guess just by loosening and letting my core go, it shifted my hip, and I just felt my back go. And I fell forward. I couldn't breathe. And fuck, man, I was done. And it was crazy, too. I didn't think it was that bad because I could still stand up. I was a little hunched over, but I think it was the adrenaline and everything. So I went home that evening, showered, took a nap. And when I woke up, I couldn't move my fucking shit waist down.
After everything
It
settled.
was I was so much in pain. It took 2 weeks for my body to get to the point where I can even go to the ER. So I had a couple buddies of mine that came pick me up, threw me in the back of the fucking car. I went through 5 fucking specialists, and they all
How big were you?
275. 275, and I was still pretty lean. I was probably around 12% at 275. So I was, but shit, I was benching 545, squatting 760s, deadlifting almost 800s.
How's your knees now?
My knees are good.
Yeah.
You've seen me.
Yeah, I mean, I see you.
I'm
still
an old
squatting
ass
out.
still squatting 600 pounds. And
It's just
still
but is it just your lower back now, or your back normal?
yeah, no. So I blew up. I have no disc in between my L2, 3, and 4. They're gone. It's just vertebrae.
So has it already like fused itself back?
No, it's not fused. I just learned to deal with it because the 5 specialists wanted me to do titanium plates,
Yeah.
fusion disc replacement, all that shit. I know a couple other powerlifters that went through that. They've never walked right. I don't even think a couple of them don't even step back in the gym anymore. They haven't even been able. And they've had multiple surgeries since. So I went through, just like you said, you were discouraged. I went through a depression because it took me 2.5 years of physical rehab, therapy, acupuncture, chiropractor before I can even fucking walk into the gym. And I was 223 pounds when I get back to the gym. And when everybody saw me, they're like, what the fuck happened to you? Do you have cancer? You have leukemia? I was like, bitch, I blew out my back. I couldn't eat. I couldn't train, motherfucker. And it was sucked. 10 pounds. And I couldn't even stand straight up still. So I had to fucking just, and there's
So
so
you
many
were
ti-
walking around like Ronnie Coleman walked around now.
Oh, fuck yeah. Yeah. And that's why, today they have peptides. I wish they had that shit back then.
Back then.
Oh, yeah. That fucking would have been.
So let's talk about peptides.
Okay.
So, do you really think that they're that good, that potent, that like they're the real deal?
I do. I'm one of those. I'm a trisexual. I'll try anything once.
Yeah.
You say it's going to do something. Let's see.
Let's see.
I'm going to find out. I want to speak on it because when people come to me for knowledge or experience,
Yeah.
how can I relate if I don't know?
No, and that's one thing that I do agree with you on that one because I've gone up to you plenty of times, and you always just it makes sense in what you say. And
I'll tell you some things are shit.
Yeah, and that's the thing is, no matter, and it's not just you, but even my wife or even my friends, my boss, they tell me something like I'm gonna trust you, but I'm still gonna verify.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's just who I am.
Yeah.
But no, like everything you've told me, like it's been spot on.
Yeah, and I will never, because I do the research too. When somebody says this, I'm going to do the research. And then I'm gonna like, all right, let's fucking try it. It's a peptide. It's amino acid. What the fuck is it going to do to me? Nothing, right? I mean, but everybody's body will respond different because we have different pathogens and receptors, right? So all I can tell you is this is what it did for me. And this is what it's supposed to do overall, right?
Right.
And that's all I'm going to give you. I'm not going to say it will. I said, for me, it did this and this and this. Or it didn't do shit. I'll tell you, So if I had the peptides that I am on today, Back then, god damn, that probably would have took me to another level.
And I'm on peptides too, so I mean, they work for me.
Yeah.
Like I can, like you said, I don't tell people like, yeah, they're gonna fix you. Like all I ever refer is to people's stories.
They help.
And to me, like people always like, oh, if I take the Wolverine stack, am I gonna be back to normal? I'm like, no, but you'll be a lot better than what you are now.
Fuck yeah.
Or you should be a lot better than what you are now. And the only thing that scares me about peptides, like I said, it works for me. And I've seen people's testimonies and it works for them. What scares me is that the FDA is one day is going to regulate this and just skyrocket the prices. I mean, I guess
that is because they know, of course, they know all these billion-dollar companies are going to pay the FDA to regulate it. That's what it is. So this way they can make a conglomerate. Because now, steroids, who cares about that shit? Who cares about pain meds? Who cares about medications now? Because we got peptides. There's peptides to heal your gut. There's peptides to kill cancer. There's all this shit.
Or even peptides that act like Ozempic.
Exactly. So now the medical field, the pharmaceutical companies are going to shit. Because now you got something that costs $30.
A fraction of what they charge.
Yeah. So that's what's happening. But all I could say is, just like anything else that comes out, know your sources, know the right people.
Yeah.
And you will be taken care of. I mean, just stick with that. Once you start branching off to other things, then good luck to you. You know, just like steroids today versus back then. But
it's all about how much can you cut it to make the money.
Exactly. And then I've never stirred anybody wrong. I always say, I know a person, I know this, let me help you. Because if you're in it for the right reasons, cool.
Yeah.
So, just like you, anything like that, I want to help people.
Yeah.
And I'm a believer. If I can put my body through what I put through and still do what I do, you see me, I'm 47 and I'm still
killing it.
These 20-year-olds, I'll fucking moonwalk around them, and it's just my mentality for one, my experience, and I cannot accept failure for myself. I've been through too much in my life to ever say I'm done. I will never, it's crazy. And then me and her, Audra, she's come into my world and she gives me another purpose. Even though I have 4 kids, I think she doesn't have any of her own. And we talked about this. So I need to stay young and youthful.
Yeah.
I need to make sure I got go. I want to be there. Like I told you from the beginning, I didn't have a family. And when I go to her family, they have huge family. She got fucking people everywhere. And they're just so loving and caring. And I'm fortunate to be able to bring my kids to that world.
Yeah.
Because I didn't have it. So if I'm able to grow my family and create that legacy and then have her to be able to have her own legacy with her kids, why not? You know, she deserves it. And she's kept me strong. She's kept me, I told you I went through a divorce, and I was married and it was rough. It was rough. You even checked up on me a few times.
Yeah, I had to.
And it was just like, it was rough. There's points in my life I'm like, fuck, man. Why? It sucks to go through, and I don't wish that upon anybody. Communication is going to be the number one factor. But you know what? Just fate and destiny brought us back together. We used to date. We dated 14 years ago, and
wow,
we didn't get. And after that, we haven't seen each other in fucking years. And she just happened to pop in my life during this divorce. And we just started talking. And it was crazy. It felt like we started where we left off.
So just the timing wasn't right.
Yeah. Just timing wasn't right back then. But it is right now. And my purpose now is to help people, give people goals, dreams, a purpose.
Yeah.
But also instill that in my blood, my legacy, my family, so I'm very fortunate and grateful to find people, good friends like you, everybody that keep me When there's moments you felt it. There's moments where it's just like, fuck, man. How much more are you going to take from me? How much more are you going to drain from me?
Yeah.
There's going to be a cutoff, right? We need people around. That's the support team. That's the love. That's friends, family. That's what you need to keep going, right? Because they're the ones to remind you. If you can keep them strong, who's keeping you strong? You know?
Yeah.
And that's what I can tell everybody is anybody can smile, but it's what's behind that smile we don't know.
And I agree with you on that one because, like I said, I go through my mental health problems. I mean, I have my good days and my bad days, you know? And I have a lot of military friends. I have a lot of friends that will call me and they're at a breaking point, you know? And whenever someone calls me like that, I ask them this: do you want my opinion, or do you want me to shut my mouth and I'm gonna let you just ramble off?
Mm-hmm.
Because if you choose option 2, I will not give you any advice. I will not cut you off. I will not try to find out where you're at. But option 1, I am gonna have a conversation with you and share our experiences. Because, like I said, I have my rough days, you know, and it's hard. So, like, my phone is always available. Not everyone has my number, but people can always call me on Facebook.
I'll put it on the bathroom walls, guys.
I'll put it on Facebook. I'll put it on Instagram. They can always call me because that's what I'm there. Like, I am literally there for the people.
Yeah.
Like, mental health is. I know people like to clown nowadays. Like, oh, there's so many people with mental health. Mental health has been around for years.
Correct.
Years. It's just that back in the day, right? Our parents, our fathers, our grandparents told you man the hell up,
Mm-hmm.
and then you would still like.
Got your ass beat.
Yeah, you got your ass beat, and then your life would fall apart. People would kill themselves and all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like, or people go missing, or, you know, people start drinking more and start doing more drugs because that was the escape.
Yeah.
But if we can just have a conversation, there's no reason why you're going to turn to, like, over drinking or doing drugs and making a mistake. Because sometimes this conversation right here, that's the drug we need to take us off the ledge.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And that's what I told you I hold guilty with my brother when he was trying to reach out and asking if I could come visit him.
Yeah.
It could have been that one conversation. I could have stopped it. And that's the guilt I hold.
Yeah. But you know what? I hate to say this, but sometimes you have to lose a rose to save dozens and thousands of dozens of roses.
Correct. And that's how I looked at my purpose.
It sucks to look at it that way, but it's the truth.
It took a lot of years for me to reprogram my feelings, to channel it,
to accept it,
because and if I didn't meet like Darren, he came into my world, he was there. He was there when I got that call.
Yeah.
From my own parents saying, your brother's gone. So it took people like that to help redirect me. But it didn't happen overnight. It took a few years, bro. And like I said, for everybody I can help and change, it's my way of telling my brother I'm here for him. Still, you know, and that's my purpose. And so my hand, whatever I have, my resources, my phone, it goes out to anybody who needs help. And I think that's why you and I are just click on, right? Because
you know what's funny is a funny story. The only person that knows the story is my wife.
Yeah.
When I first saw you, right, and I saw how much people loved you, like how much people cared about you, I was not jealous, but I was like, who the hell is this guy? Like, big old guy, always smiles, talks to everyone, and everyone just like is around him. Like, I wasn't mad. I didn't hate you. I was just like, why? Like, why? Why is his light so bright?
Yeah.
And then I remember one time you and I locked eyes. And then we just talked.
Bromance.
Yeah, we just talked and we clicked.
Yeah.
And I came back and I told my wife, hey, remember that big old guy from the gym that I don't know, something about him.
And you knew me when I was bigger.
Yeah. And I told my wife, something about this guy. And she said, yeah. I was like, he's such a cool dude. And I started to see why people are so drawn to you.
Yeah.
You know, like people are just so drawn to you. Like, just
no matter what goes on in my life, It's nobody else's fault. So I'm going to give them the best Jimmy that I can give at all cost.
Yeah.
It's not fair, because those people are the ones who come up to me for seek guidance, love, attention, or a direction.
Yeah.
So imagine if you came up to me and I was a dick. I was like, what the fuck? Because I had a bad day. And then your point of perspective of me will change just because of that one moment, right?
Mm-hmm.
So why would I do that? If my inability to spread love, happiness, I'm a jokester. I will talk shit to everybody. We have fun, but it's not anybody's fault to see me on my bad day, and it's not. I don't want to give it, and I do my best. And there's times, especially road rage, shit like that, like the John Jones shit.
Mm-hmm.
If she wasn't in the car with me, there's fucking times I'm gonna fucking get out and river dance all over your fucking head. You're gonna get out of that car and we're gonna fucking have it out,
Yeah.
Sometimes she just holds my hand and says, baby, it's okay. It's not worth it,
Yeah.
I'm like, all right.
And it's not.
You lucky motherfucker.
It's not.
And it's not
worth it.
And it's just, do I want, and it's like that reputation. When I was a bouncer, I had that reputation. Jimmy fucked everybody up. I mean, I've broken every bone in my body just fighting. And I don't want that. And it's crazy. These kids today, my mom and dad know you. I hear, I'm like, how do they know me? Used to bounce.
I know your dad.
And I'm like, fuck, I know your dad or something. I'm like, shit, tell them I'm sorry, But, and they're like, no, we deserved it or something. I said, tell them to hit me up. I love to have a conversation or buy them a drink or go to lunch or something. That's just me. I don't hold grudges. I don't, the past is the past, and everybody deserves second chances, and I'm a firm believer of that. But, the biggest objective of our conversation or our podcast is just be real. Be the true you. I'm the most outspoken person that if you guys know me, I will say shit, and sometimes it's probably overboard, but I will say it. You'll know me because that's who I am.
Yeah.
But it's either you love or hate me. And if you hate me, you'll always respect me because you know my purpose and I'm not a puppet for anybody.
Yeah. And that's what I appreciate about you. That's what I like about you. And I think that's the reason why your light's so bright. I think that's the reason why people are so drawn to you is because you're just real. Like a bullshitter will always spell the bullshitter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And, I can sense how real you are. And that's the reason why you and I talk. I mean, there's times when we go to the gym, we'll talk for like 10, 20 minutes before I even get warmed up,
Yeah. And I love that. And some people are always like, Jimmy, you're in the fucking gym all fucking day. I'm working out. I'm training people. I'm helping people. And that's another thing too. I train people, some of my patients.
Yeah.
I'd rather give them that versus prescribe them something. Especially for anxiety or depression. Come to the gym.
Yeah.
Guess what? It's the best. There's nothing that releases more endorphins than that. Nothing. It's been proven. So I don't know why more facilities don't do that.
Or more insurances.
They don't accept it, but I do it. I just do it. I don't care.
Well, I know at the last gym the gym that we work out now, I know there was like an issue where like
they were on my ass.
So they were on your ass because they thought you were taking their clients, but like their services as a personal trainer, they could be the best personal trainer in the world, okay? Yeah. But they're there for the wrong. I guess it's not the wrong reason, but they're there for the money. That's your job.
Correct.
You do it out of the kindness of your heart.
Correct. I do it just to help people.
So that's a better investment than me paying a personal trainer.
To guide people, to lead people and channel whatever that's holding them or fighting them with them or their darkest shit. And I've heard some crazy shit in my lifetime. And it makes me feel good that they can do that. I've had so many stories from people, and that's what fuels me.
And you know what? I'm very big on legacy. Mm-hmm. Like recently in the last 3 years, like I've really like cared about the word legacy, right?
That's why I loved your questions. I was just like, man, this fucker's.
Yeah, because I want to know.
My blood type is type O.
because I want to know you. And
I learned masturbation when I was 8. You know, this guy was trying to find out everything.
Come on the show. I'm gonna ask you some good questions, but no, like it's your legacy. What you're gonna leave behind, you know, and the legacy that you're leaving behind is worth more than any money in this world because your kids will talk about it. There's gonna be your clients that will be old, like, man, I used to have this guy named Jimmy. I wonder what he's up to, you know, and it's crazy. Or like when you have grandkids, you know, like
and that's what I tell everybody is. And I tell mostly men and fathers because it's us for us to leave that, right?
Yeah.
Not women. Women are the nurturers, the mothers, the ones who keep the household strong. But it's up to us to leave that presence, that legacy for our kids or people who are around us to fuel and keep going, right? When you die and your time is ready to go and you're ready to make peace, what is the I always tell them 2 things. What is the legacy you leave behind, and what will you be remembered for?
Yeah.
If you can't answer that, you better work on that shit now.
Yeah. Like the time is
Yeah.
ticking.
Yeah, because shit, you already know something can happen tonight, tomorrow. I may not wake up, you know?
Yeah.
So work on that shit now, people. All the men out there, all the guys who are lost. What is your legacy, and what are you going to be known for when your time goes? And, you know, I always used to joke around and say, I want my legacy so deep, I want a high school named after me. You know?
Yeah.
I used to just, you know, and that's how I look, because that's the impact I want to make. And it takes the high schoolers, the middle school, all these things to make that change for our world tomorrow. And that's what I worry about is the fucking world that my kids are going to live in. And that's what's scary.
Yeah.
Because like you said, nothing's what it used to be. Drive around a fucking neighborhood right now. See how many bicycles are parked at a house.
No.
Or who's playing outside. I don't see that shit no more. And it's crazy. It's sad. That's all I used to do. I used to get my ass beat because I'd never come home. I'd be playing.
Yeah.
You know, the sun goes down, I better come home because that's dinner time. Right?
I mean, like me, I was born and raised in Compton, California.
Yeah.
My dad would give me $20 on a Friday after school, right? And then me and my boys would go ride our bikes Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Those $20 would last me. I remember riding our bikes so far, like it would take us a couple of hours to ride the bus back home.
Oh shit!
Like we would ride far,
yeah.
You know. But 25 cents to get the bus back, it was easy. We would always save a quarter, you know. No matter if we blew the $19.75, that quarter was getting us back home because there was no phones. You know what I mean? And you can't do that nowadays. You get kidnapped, or you'll go missing, or you'll get ran over, or someone will steal your bike. I don't know. It's
sad, and that's what I tell people today. There's only a few of us that can think of that and have that impact. So the more and more we all reach out and have that same perspective and that same drive for our own kids and our family, it's going to take us now to change that, our future. If not, it's going to be 10 times worse for our family and our kids. And what legacy you're going to have after that?
Yeah.
You can't even have a legacy if you can't even go outside. You can't even worry about getting shot or whatever the fuck the government's going to do. Or it's just, so right now it's time to make the impact for everybody. I mean, we're only 1 or 2 people, and there's a handful of people that I know that feel the same way. But us as dads, it takes us to instill that to our kids, to our friends, our family, and have that passion and drive. And that's why you have Jiu-Jitsu Kartel. That's why I'm in Crossroads Treatment Centers to make that impact,
Yeah.
And that's the sad truth.
Yeah. And, I think sometimes some people are just afraid to they have the mission, they have a purpose to do it. But I feel like a lot of people are afraid to fail, right? Like, and what people need to understand is that you're going to fail. It's going to happen. But how many times are you going to get your ass back up and keep moving forward and continue your purpose, continue your mission, continue your vision, continue what wakes you up in the morning to make sure that whatever your mission is, you're going to make it happen.
That's true.
Like myself, I'm tired. There's days when I'm extremely tired, but I'm still doing this for the people, not for me. I don't get paid for this. I do it because if I'm volunteering my time because it's my purpose. You know what I mean? It's not a job. If it was a job and I was getting paid, I wouldn't have the passion that I have now.
Yeah.
So by doing it for free, it just motivates me.
Exactly.
It motivates me. It means more when people are thankful, when I see people's lives changing, when I have those conversations with
Or
people.
you hear them say something you said.
Yeah.
Or their actions or what your actions are.
Yeah.
And then you're like, shit, yeah. That's what makes it worth it to me. Same thing. You know, sometimes she freaks out. We can be out having a good time, come home midnight, and I have to wake up at 3 a.m, get ready and start. She goes, how do you do it?
Purpose.
My purpose. And you know what? She's never said, don't stop, or she knows.
And that's
This
the
is
reason
what
why I
drives
started
me.
this podcast is I want people to see different stories, you know, different missions, different journeys,
Yeah.
you know, because at the end of the day, we're all winners, man.
Yeah.
It's just a different path that we all take.
Correct. But it's the
And
same outlook.
it's the same outlet.
Yeah.
And, you know, and like some paths are going to be harder than others. Some people have it a lot easier. Don't get me wrong.
Easier or even harder.
Or even harder, you know?
Yeah. I hear stories sometimes. I'm like, fuck. I thought I had it bad a few times, and I'm like, shit, no. And that's what makes me give more drive. When I hear stories of people's hardships growing up, I'm like, fuck. And you're here, and you have the courage to say, I want better and want more for yourself. Fuck yeah. I'll back you up 1,000%. Yep. You earn my respect just because of the life you lived, and you still want the best.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people can give up. A lot of people just go the other way, you know. And when they want to say, I want better for myself, I want better for my family, I will give you everything I got. You know, I support that 1,000%, you know. And so, you know, I'm a firm believer in that. And, you know, it's crazy. You know, it touches me in 1,000 ways, Alex, just to sit here with you and think about all these conversations I've had in the past with people, things that I've done or experienced, because all I could say is I wouldn't be the person I am today if it wasn't for my past, like you know?
Yeah.
And a lot of people forget that. And I always tell people, when you lose direction, always remember how you started. That'll put your ass back on track.
Yeah. Why you started.
Yeah.
Your reason.
Yeah.
And, you know, and that's one thing I tell my wife all the time is I've made several mistakes, you know, in our marriage. I've made several mistakes in my family's life, just in my life in general. And I, like, some people look at me like I'm crazy, but I always tell them I would never go back and change it.
Yeah.
Do I regret it? Yes. I regret a lot of my decisions that I did in the past, but I would not change what I did, because if I wasn't able to experience those mistakes, I would not be the dad. I would not be the husband. I would not be the person that I am today. And, you know, sometimes
That's a good outlook.
And sometimes as a father, right? And it sounds very arrogant to some people. Like, oh, you wouldn't go back and change? I'm like, no, I wouldn't. I wouldn't want, like, at all.
Because I get asked that too, you know, what would you change? And there's some things I'd say I'd change. But if I had that perspective like you just described, you're right. It takes those fucking things and the fuck ups, the downfalls, the hard things that we've done and the stupid things for us to learn and grow from it, right?
Yeah.
You know, and that's what I tell my boys. You know, I can only guide you, but when you fall on your face, I'll be there. But I got to let you fall on your face.
Yeah.
Because if not, you're not going to be able to experience it and learn from it.
Yeah. And, you know, and I'm a very big believer that, and my wife and I talk about it all the time, all the mistakes I've made now, all the hard lessons I've had, all the heartbreaks, all the betrayals, all the injuries, everything, right? Everything that's ever failed in my life. I think that it was given to me for a reason. So one day I can be the advocate for my boys and my daughter and be the one that, hey, I got some knowledge for you. I did this. Let me show you. Let me show you how to get out of this situation, because I've been through it.
Ain't that the best feeling, that your kids come up to you versus somebody else?
Yeah.
And that's a hard thing to do, and a hard pill to swallow. If my kids had to rely on somebody else or another parent, over me, that means I fucked up somewhere.
Yeah.
And it sucks. I've had a few of those, you know, like you said, I'm not the perfect dad. You know, if you ask people, even the way I train people, I'm a hard ass. But you're going to see the biggest reward at the end, right? There's times, you know, even with her, sometimes I'm like, fucking little motherfucker, you know? And she'd be like, babe, it's okay. He needs to learn.
Yeah.
You know? And I'm just like, fuck. Common sense, shit.
Yeah.
You know? And
you know what? Maybe she's just teaching you patience.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a lesson for you.
It is. I will fucking eat it with a grain of salt. You know, she has taught me a lot of patience. You know, just in a little time. We've been back together for about a year, a little over a year actually. And I've learned so much. And the biggest thing I've learned is communication. We talk, you know, the hardest thing for us was talking about our past, why it didn't work. Why didn't you give me another chance? Yeah. Why all those things, right? Those are the hardest things to hear and swallow for both of us. But guess what? Now that we talked about it and we have no skeletons in the closet. We know communication is the key. And I love that about her, is we can talk about, and there's times that if something's bothering her, she'll just fucking call me out. I'm like, oh shit, all right, here we go. You know, and I'm grateful for that. Versus her holding it in and letting it build up and then turn into something worse, right? So just in life, same thing. That's why I don't want to bottle up shit, because I don't want the wrong person to come there and trigger me and I fucking unleash, right? Or my kids or somebody. It's not fair. And that's why when you see me in the gym, all that, it's not fair to people to know what I've been through, or it's not their fault that I had a bad conversation or argument with somebody, or I beat the shit out of somebody in the parking lot, you know, some shit, you know, just like, you know, our buddy at the gym, he pissed me off so much. And I was just like, you know what? You think you're a fucking tough little MMA motherfucker? Go outside in the parking lot. Show me how tough you are. Yeah. You know, you don't even have cauliflower. Fuck you. You know? You fight my ass. You got prettier hands than fucking most women. I fucking, so you know, it's just crazy, you know. And I know I'm very observant. I can tell who fucking goes through, you know. And in my lifetime, I've got my ass handed to me too. Yeah. But that's what taught me, you know. And but I will always be known. I never back down from nobody. I don't give a fuck. My dad taught me, if I'm going to the hospital, you're coming with me. You know? Yeah. He taught me that, you know, don't let no motherfucker beat your ass so bad and nothing happens to him. You know, so I've always, if it comes down to it, I'll fucking fight dirty. I don't give a fuck. Yeah. You're coming with me. You know? Yeah. You know, and it's just that mentality. But now that we're older, I think like you. I'm like, if I do that, this and this, now I got to worry about this. Or if she's around, my kids are around, fuck. And it's taught me. But it takes years of going through all that shit, guys.
Well, I mean, I used to be a hothead. I used to be like,
you were telling me.
I was bad. But the military has sent me into it's emotional intelligence like classes and courses, and it's changed a lot of how I react when I'm upset, or how I react when I'm happy. I mean, I still make my mistakes. I still pop off once in a while. Yeah. I still make rational choices, but I try to calm myself down.
But you got I'm going to ask you this too. Your wife helps you a lot.
Oh yeah, she's my compass. Exactly. I still say it to this day.
Yeah. I remember you said that to somebody we know, and compass is the truth. You know, and I hear that a lot from you. And that's a real man who accepts and knows that he wouldn't be here if it wasn't for his significant other, you know? Yeah. And that's why you picked your partner for many of those reasons, right? And, and it makes me feel good because oh, she's going to laugh, but I've dated a lot of girls in my time, you know? Yeah. And, and it's just, I have stories on that shit. It's just stupid, right? But it took me all the hell and everything, my divorce, that I've been through to finally realize what love, what a soulmate, what a supporter, what somebody who just, you can just talk to. You trust with your darkest feelings and hardest feelings, that it takes that. And that's your compass, right? Like you were saying, she just makes me feel balanced, and it's just crazy. It's just, I've never felt that before in my life. There's times too, I want to fucking just go off the rocker, and she just gives me that look. I'm like, all right.
You know what's funny is my wife, excuse me, she's 5'1", oh no, 4'11", sorry, 4'11", 120, okay?
And you're scared of.
I'm terrified of her. So she's very nice, very passive, very like, she's like a very good greeter, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And there's times when I'll try, like, hey, how come you don't talk to me like that? Like, why do you always have to like check me or something? It's like, because you take the worst out of me, which is true. And she'll put me in my place.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she'll put me in my place. And one rule that we have is no matter how bad the fight is, we have our arguments, our disagreements, but we never fight.
Yeah.
You know? But whenever we do have like our arguments, like we have a rule, like we'll never, ever sleep away from each other.
That's good.
So like there was one day I was just being stubborn. I was upset when she told me. So I laid on the couch. And she came stomping down the stairs, and she's like, no, you're gonna come to bed. So she made me go upstairs. I laid down and she covered me. I was so mad. I was like, I can't even be mad in my own house. Like, what is up with this? You know, like, but
that's awesome.
That's just who she is. But you know,
she's teaching me that, because there's a few times, and we don't fight. We just argue too.
Yeah,
there's times I'm like, I'll just go in the fucking living room, and she'll come out with a blanket and pillow. She goes, well, I'll be out here with you then. I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about it. You know, and those are things I'm not used to, but I love it because it's made me a better person. And I also see the other side, the things that I neglected, or the things that I could have done better in my previous life or relationships or whatever, because I didn't have that. I wasn't like that.
Yeah.
That's why when you ask what my theme song is, Bobby Brown, My Prerogative.
Yeah.
I've lived by that motherfucker. You know, she's like, she started laughing when she goes, what song did you pick? And I told her, she goes, of course you did.
Yeah.
And that was me. It's just like, I didn't give a shit what people thought. I didn't care. I did my own thing. I made my own money. I spent money. I made my own decision. I don't give a fuck. Yeah. And so that's why I picked that song, you know. But since she's been in it, I'm like fucking listening to, I hate to admit this, but I'm listening to fucking country and shit now. I never listen to fucking, I hate country. Fuck. And now she's making me hear the words and understand. I'm like,
hey, country music's good though. I love country music.
I'm still wishy-washy on this shit, but there's a few good songs.
Well, my wife taught me, she got me to start two-stepping, listen to country music. And because of her, like, I'm a good country dancer now. Like, you know what I mean? So maybe one day we'll find a cowboy big enough to fit your head, and we'll take you to
I'm
777.
8 5/8 head.
We'll take you to 777 and put on some cowboy boots on you, some buttonless chaps.
Know. You think that'll ever happen? Me in cowboy boots and shit? Yeah, you do? Fuck.
There you go.
Yeah.
But hey, Alex, I sold my house. We moved to Los Lunas, and I got a
we actually already. She has a lot.
Imagine your big ass bull riding, dude. Like just at 40, you're like, I'm 47. I'm just gonna send it just one time off the bucket list.
You know, true story though. I'll never get on a horse or a bull like that because I had a traumatic experience. I was 13 years old. My buddy, this is when I lived in Florida. He had a nice little ranch and had some horses. So we were jumping on his trampoline, and he would do this fucking thing. He'd jump off the trampoline onto the horse and ride off. And I was like, fuck, that's badass. And one day he was like, fucking do it. I was like, you sure? He's like, just do it. And I finally said, fuck it, right? And it took like a year for me to get the courage to even try it. Yeah. So I was like, fuck it, I'll do it. So I'm jumping, and he's pushing the horse back. But the horse is watching me, and it's like, this.
He knew something was coming.
Yeah. So I go to jump onto the horse. The fucker leaped forward. And when I hit the ground and I looked up, he kicked. Oh no. Fucking kicked me right here. Broke my fucking sternum. I had a lump on my chest like fucking this.
How old were you?
13.
Wow.
And I thought I was going to die because I couldn't fucking breathe. He caved in everything in me. I was like, I was almost going to die. They put me in a fucking stupid thing I had to wear in school like this,
A
man.
suit.
Yeah, this fucking thing. I look like one of those fucking guys in special ed, you know? And I was just like, fuck, man.
It's
Everybody's making fun of me.
one of those like hard shells, right?
Yeah, because I couldn't open it up because it would open up my sternum again. So it kept me like this. So I was in that motherfucker for like 7-8 weeks. Ever since, I've been terrified because no shit, that fucking horse launched me 15 feet. Like the power, I thought I was going to die. So now I'm like, fuck no. Every time they were like, pet a horse, I'm all, I'll be all, trying to, you know, I'm all, fuck all that, you know, but she wants like those little, what are they called? The
little ponies?
The little ponies and the little cows with the hair.
My wife's trying me.
That shit, and she wants all that around there, and so my dumbass, you know, that probably is going to happen. And I'm like, all right, that's cool. I don't have to worry about killing me. You know,
kicks your buckles or knees.
Yeah, you know, but fuck, I can deal with that. But yeah, me cowboy, full cowboy, probably not.
No,
but it'll be some shit. If you see me in cowboy boots and a hat, best be ready. I'm gonna tear some shit up. Oh fuck! Can you imagine? Fuck! Anybody who knows me is like, who the fuck? We thought we knew Jimmy.
Yeah.
You know, and that's why it's uncensored. You know, there's a lot of things that came out of me that I've always held in or just never talked about. You know, and I'm cool. I'm comfortable with it now. I have nothing to fucking hide anymore. This is who I am, and you know, and I'm grateful. Just like you said, I've learned from my mistakes. I've made my problems, laid my bed, and I'm grateful for all of it. And I couldn't talk to people around me if it wasn't for those things.
Yeah,
I couldn't relate. Right?
It's just the character that it builds your character. You know? Yeah, it builds who you are, and
it's the truth. And I challenge anybody out there that's watching this is just ask yourself, you know, what is your purpose? What is your legacy? And when your time is ready and you got to go, how will you be remembered? If you put that in perspective, that's going to change your life for the better, you know? And I'm grateful for a lot of mentors in my life, a lot of people who've, and, you know, my dad, so my parents were hard on me like fuck. My dad, he was a country boy, Tennessee, Scottish and Irish, Dutch, and fucking, he was in the military. But he lived on his own since he was 8. Okay. You know, he ran away from home because his dad was drunk and beat the fuck out of him, his sister, and brother. So, and my mom came from Korea. She didn't get past elementary school because she couldn't afford it.
So, you were born and raised in Korea?
Yeah.
So how were you born there? Because your dad?
My dad was in the military.
Okay.
And so then he was stationed in Korea, South Korea, and met my mom.
Was he what branch was he in?
Air Force.
Air Force. Okay. And then what age did you come to the U.S.?
I think probably 2.
Okay.
2, and then we moved back when my brother was getting born. So this way we can have dual citizenship.
Yeah.
And then my brother was born. But, you know, it's crazy. Funny story, too. My dad met my mom at a bowling alley in Korea, right?
Okay.
They had a language barrier, of course, right?
Of course.
My dad knew the basics. He saw my mom. My mom was, I want to say 16 or something like that. Met my mom, tried talking to her. And she goes, "You American, go away." And he was like, "What the hell?" You know, and he was so intrigued just because this is the only girl, all the other Korean girls, oh, American, Air Force.
She was just standoffish.
Yeah, she was like, "Nope, I'm not going to fall for your shit," you know?
Mm-hmm.
And then my dad was so intrigued. He would show up to the bowling alley once a week just looking for her because he didn't want to let it go. Finally, he found her like the 3rd or 4th time. And he goes, "Wait." He tells her, she goes, "No, I don't want to talk to you." "Wait." Goes to his truck. So my dad played the guitar.
Okay.
Goes to the truck and comes back and says, "Sit down, please." He just started playing and singing for her. And she actually sat down and listened.
Wow.
And that's how And that's how they started. It was crazy to hear that story, the love story, and my mom sacrificed everything to move out here for her family. She lost everything. She didn't know anybody. She did all that for her kids. And just like you said with your wife, that woman is the only person I'm scared of. She's 4'11", 5 foot, maybe 100 pounds soaking wet. But goddamn. And she laughs at me every time my mom yells at me. I'm like, shit, okay, mom. And she's like, it's so funny to see this big old guy fucking, okay, mom, sorry, mom. Yeah. But it's because of the respect. And I'll tell you what, I'd rather get beat by my dad than punished by my mom. Everybody's like, Jimmy, you got big ass shoulders and traps. Fucking, what do you do for that? I said, you want to know the truth? Growing up, if I fucked up, I had a wall sit on the wall and hold books over my head for 30 minutes. If I got caught resting the books or sitting down, she would fucking take off my socks and take a wood spoon and beat the fuck out of the bottom of my feet. And then tell me to go back on the wall sit and reset the clock.
Wow.
So I would have to do that every time. I'll be like, Dad, just beat my ass and get rid of it.
Yeah.
He's like, nope.
And now
I'm staying on it because he goes, if I do that, I'll be sitting in the wall with you. Fuck that. And it was crazy. It's just, but that's the mentality we grew up with. And you don't find that today.
No.
You got these parents, I don't want to hurt my kid, this and that. Well, you're raising a Columbine shooter. That's all I'm going to say. Right. I hate to say it that way, but I see these parents and they're scared, or their kids make their parents scared of.
So I saw a video yesterday. There was this husband and a wife at a zoo. It was in a different country, but the dad got into an argument with one of the guys at the zoo. The guy slapped that kid's boy.
Oh, I saw that.
And he just picked up and walked away.
Yeah.
I'm like, as a dad, I would never.
Yeah, I saw that
anyone
shit.
Get I don't care.
I would have fucking picked up that motherfucker and threw him in the lion fucking den.
That was
slap
crazy.
Slap my kid.
But it said that most people nowadays, right? That's kind of how they're raised. Very passive people.
You can't be passive because our reality is that.
I know.
If you shelter your kids from this world, they're never going to be prepared when it hits them. And guess what? They act on intuition, impulse, right? That's why these kids make wrong decisions and do something wrong because they're not accustomed. They don't know.
And they have that safety net.
Exactly. So, I hate to admit to it, but I'm sorry, parents. You need to beat your kid's ass. You need to show them. Don't shelter them. Take them out. Let them watch a rated R movie. Let them, I don't shelter any of my kids. They need to know the reality of the world we live and what to expect that's coming.
Yeah.
If you're not prepared, guess what? That's what's going to happen.
Well, that's why I tell my boys all the time, like, I'm not here to be your friend. Mm-hmm. I am here to get you ready for this world. Yeah. Because I refuse to fail you as your dad. Like, imagine 18-year-old graduation and he looks at me and look just terrified. I'm either going to get a terrified version because he knows that he's old enough to step into the real world now. Or he's going to look at me and be like, I got this. Pop. I got it. You've prepped me. I've been through all the BS. Let's go.
And I'm glad you said that because right before my dad passed, maybe a couple months before, he couldn't speak or talk. He had to talk through the computer because he had ALS, so he lost his speech and everything. But okay. I told Dad, and I said, Dad, thank you. He started crying. He didn't. I said, and he put on the screen for what? I said, Dad, all the times I got mad at you, I was hurt with you, I fought back with you because I didn't know. I thought you were just being a hard ass. I thought you were on my ass for no good reason, just because you felt like it.
Yeah.
I said, thank you, Dad, because I'm ready. I'm ready to be the father I need to be. I'm ready to be the man you prepared me for. And if it wasn't for you, Dad, God knows what I've done with my life. And he taught me that, And my mom taught me everything's earned, never given. So if I didn't have both those worlds in my life, God knows the decisions I would have made or the path I would have taken.
Yeah.
But I tell my boys, there's things you're not going to you're going to disagree with me. There's things you're going to think I don't love you, but I love you more than anything. That's why I have to teach you this way.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'll admit, I'm hard on my kids for their education, for their manners, respect, and understanding the world. But I know down the road, when that time comes, I'm ready to hear, thank you, Dad. I understand. Because I felt so much better telling my dad that before he went. And when he went, I know that was the best thing I could ever did and own up.
Yeah.
I mean, there's times that he had a custom Chevy truck. He made me watch that motherfucker twice sometimes. I'm like, fuck you, Dad. I want to play. Nope. You didn't do it right the first time. You're going to do it right. So I'd have to.
Tough love.
Yeah. He'd make me take off the wheels, get under the hubs, do the brakes, fucking clean the motor, clean the undercarriage.
But kind of what I had said earlier, look at the legacy your dad left.
Yeah.
The memories.
And
the
it sucks too, because when I wash my cars, I'm like, that fucking now, I'm like, fuck that.
He may not be here, but he's here.
Oh, yeah.
Like
you
said, you wash your own car and you already have PTSD about it,
That's why I said it's the legacy. My Taylor blood. My mom, and my mom's still around. She's still up and kicking, and I commend her. She could have up and packed and moved back to Korea.
Yeah.
She's still at that house in Colorado, and she said, I don't want to leave here. I want to give it to you guys. I want you guys to have a place. I want you guys to visit. Me and your dad built this place. We remodeled everything to the way we want it. So it has my heart and his heart in it. I will not leave it. My mom hasn't dated anybody. My mom hasn't even talked to anybody.
Wow.
And he's been gone since 2012. And she goes, I only married one man in my life, and that's the only man I'm going to die with.
Loyalty right there.
So
that's wild.
Yeah, it's crazy. So those principles go a long way with me, and I feel that, and I want my kids to understand, and we need to be that way. We need to not be scared and show it to our kids or try to be their friends, and that's the difference. Is too many parents try to be friends, and then let their kids walk all over them.
Yeah.
And there has to be a point where you say, no, it ain't going to happen. It's tough love.
Yeah. And that's how it should be, honestly, because we're building the future now, and we have to be able to teach these kids and tough love, because one day they're going to be parents,
Yeah.
And I'm a very big believer that our kids are a reflection of us.
Exactly. Just like you said about my son. I always tell him, no matter where you go, the decisions you make, what you do,
that's Jimmy's boy.
Somebody's going to say, that's Jimmy's boy.
Yeah.
And they know me. I'm very known in the gym community everywhere, pretty much. But
yeah,
I never want to hear your son was a little fuck or he was causing problems, or I've never heard that. I have always heard both my boys are awesome, especially Donovan at the pharmacy. They're like, man, he explained everything. He told us all this. He told us the things to watch out, all these things. And he told us to call. Say we ever have a question, and we call him.
Yeah.
And he's always eager to help. That's what I love. And same with Chris at the gym. People don't know how to use the machine, or something is broke, or something happens, or the drink spills. He's the first one out there. He wants to help take care of people. And I love it when people come say, you did good, Jimmy. He's a good kid.
Yeah.
That makes it all worth it. I live for my kids. My purpose is to make sure my kids live a better life than me.
100%.
Yeah. I can die a happy man knowing that. I'm not ready
I told my boy the other day, him and I had he's only 7, so we had a really good conversation. And I got down on my knees and I looked at him eye to eye. And I told him, I am the only man on this earth that wants you to outdo me.
Yep.
I
Okay.
want you to be better than me. I want you to have nicer things. I want you to be more successful. I want you to have the best of the best.
Yes.
And I'm the only man. I don't care what your friends say. I don't care what your future friends say, your future girlfriend. I am the only man, the only person in this world that's a male that wants you to outdo me.
Correct. Or beat my ass eventually, you know?
Yep.
Come wrestle me and then take me down finally or whatever.
Yep.
You know, and it's as a father, that is the best. I want to say that is the end of our purpose to know that. When
Yeah.
your son or your daughter lives that life. And
Pass the
it's
torch.
because, and then your legacy continues. You can grow. You know, if something happened tomorrow, you're at peace.
Yeah.
You know, the worst thing to do, just like the worst thing for my dad, was not being able to say I'm sorry or I love you one more time to my brother before he passed. And that was the one thing he told me that kills him. So, anybody out there listening, if you have a grudge with somebody dear to you, don't hold that grudge. You don't know what can happen, the world brings. And the worst thing you can do is that person leaves this earth and you never got to say sorry, I love you, I miss you, or anything. That's something you're gonna regret. I'll tell you that. Because I saw my dad, he was holding on to ALS pretty good. Most people, it happens in 3 to 5 years. You know, he was holding it. Once my brother passed and he said that, he let himself go. He died within 10 months. Yeah. Yeah. After reading his suicide letter, it took us a couple of years because we found it in a laptop and it was passcoded, but my dad bought it. So he had to call Dell and they walked him through the master security thing so he can get it unlocked.
Wow.
And right there it was. My brother knew my dad would figure it out. Oh, fuck. I wish we never found it. Because my dad just let go. Then my mom blamed my dad for his death.
Yeah.
It was hard. Even though my dad had ALS, my mom for a year didn't want to even talk to him. She's all, that's what you get, pretty much.
That's tough.
And that killed my dad. And she learned to cope. We had to give her different perspectives.
Yeah.
And then she loved my dad again and carried his legacy. And she was there. She had to feed him, clean him, dress him.
So after all that, she was still there.
Yep.
True love, man.
Yeah.
Rare to find these days.
Yeah. So, in a way, and she calls me Mama Boy, and I am Mama's boy, but it takes that mom love to instill the woman you want,
Mm-hmm.
to know how you were raised and how your mom put you first in everything. A woman by my side needs to do that same thing to
Yeah.
make me feel grounded or satisfied. And that's why I said, finally, I didn't know what that was until now. You know, it's an amazing feeling that have that security, that confidence, that knowing, you know, and that's what my mom did for everybody in her family,
Yeah.
for all of us. And, you know, so I'm grateful for that,
That's awesome, man.
you know. So.
Well, don't mess up now. Don't mess up now. Let her be your compass, man. Let her guide you.
Oh, I know. I'm not going to mess it up. It's one of those things that I'm going to tell you this is, I hate to admit it, is she should have been the one I married.
Yeah, but you know what? Like I said before,
Things happen. for a
things
reason,
happen,
and it needs to.
and if you go back, like things,
You can't.
if you guys would have got married back then, things wouldn't be.
It could have been different, yes. A lot of things could have been different.
I mean, it could have been different, like good, or it could be different, like real bad. You know?
Exactly.
You don't
We'll
know.
never know. But that's why I think communication in any relationship or with your family or your loved one is communication, because if you can't talk about the hardest things, you're never going to move on. You know?
Yeah.
And it's always going to irk you and get after you. And it, you know, and I've had my issues with our past. And it's been hard, but she keeps me strong. She,
It's that old saying: the longer you hold on to that rope, the more it's gonna burn your hand.
yeah,
Sometimes you just gotta let it go.
yeah, yeah. And when I heard you talk to that other person at the gym,
Yeah,
it made me realize that too. So just, as much as you look at me as inspiring people, and I see the same thing in you. When you talk to
and
her,
honestly, I truly care, man.
and when you said that to her, and you don't even know her for shit, you just knew what she opened up to you about, and you related you and your wife and your experiences. And there's times, and she cried. Remember,
Yeah,
she was walking away and she cried because you touched her. So those are the things that I look at too, and I'm grateful for people like you because there's nobody real. Nobody's what man you going to say is going to admit to his wife she runs the shows. You wouldn't be here because of her. She's the
Yeah.
one, your compass, right? I haven't heard that. I've never heard it. Mostly, most men are like machistas, right? They're like, "Fuck no, it's me,"
yeah.
No,
Well, like like everything like revolves around my wife. Like she does everything for me.
Yeah.
Like the only thing she doesn't do is dress me. But other than that, I mean, she pretty much does everything for me.
thank God, no.
But
You be in cowboy boots and a hat all the time,
all the time, all the time.
And it's the truth, and I'm grateful for that, and I think that's why when you asked me, it was like, I'm honored that somebody like you would want to even have me tell my story because of the person you are and the things you've achieved in your life and been through. I already know that. I knew that since the moment we locked eyes.
Yeah, locked eyes.
And everything. And, it's just, those are the things that I love. You surround yourself with people like that, you become that.
Yeah.
There's that saying, you surround yourself with shitholes and druggies or lowlifes.
You become who
that.
you hang out with.
Yeah, and I surround myself with, and people's like, surround yourself with successful billionaires. No, I don't give a fuck about that. I'm content. Yeah, we always want to make more money and do more, but that's not life.
Yeah.
I want to humble. I want to be an impact to people. I want to change people. So I'm going to surround myself with people who do that. That's the truth. And everybody who's in my life, we know a lot of people, but there's a few people I can count on my fingers that I can consider true friends or family.
Yeah.
Because I don't have family. So these people are family to me because I didn't have that.
Yeah.
And like Chris, I'm gonna shout out Chris Cruz, Izzy, Jack Dane, Mike Dennison, Freddie, Mario, Darren. Those are the guys that and now you, those are the guys I could say I trust with my deepest, hardest feelings.
Yeah.
And my hardest decisions that I have to make in life. And, it's that saying is the person that doesn't surround themselves with many people is the one you have to watch out for.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
That's why I'm not into politics. Everybody's like, Jimmy, so many people, make a change. I said, fuck politics. I'll be the worst one out there. I'll fucking tell all of them.
Yeah.
Eat shit. I hate politics. I'm not into that. I'm about the people. So, and it's just, those are the things that our perspectives are different with most people is I put people first before my own. Their well-being, their care, who they are, that comes before mine.
Yeah.
My family, if I have $5 left and that's all I can afford, guess what? My family will get it.
Yeah.
If I have one piece, me, I love to fucking eat. I'll eat, but if I had to, that's why I hate it. She always invites my sons. They moved out,
They always come back.
Motherfuckers.
The nest.
They moved out. They have their own townhome. They're supposed to be men, grown on their own. Fuck no, they're over my house every day now, just about. She'll be like, hey, your dad, or I'm cooking this. You guys want to come over? And we're getting ready to dinner, and I'm like, how come we got extra plates? The door rings. I'm like, you invited them? She goes, of course. I'm like, fuck.
And then one day you're going to have grandkids and they'll be...
Yeah. And it's just crazy. But you know what I love? She does that.
That's good. That's hard
She
to find.
puts my kids first. She'll invite them when we go out to eat or things I don't even know, just as a surprise.
Yeah.
And I'm like, here we go. Now I have to pay fucking $200 tab,
Mhm.
But you know what? When we sit together, eat together,
You
laugh.
forget about swiping that card.
Fuck yeah. That's why I say money can't change that.
Yeah.
That fucking feeling that you get when you're surrounded by the loved ones and you see them, you watch them, you laugh with them, you're proud.
It's different.
It is. And I just love it that my kids adapted with her so fast. They pretty much call her mom, and she's the same way. She thinks about my kids before me sometimes. I'm like,
Good.
fuck.
It's a good woman.
And
Yeah.
but at the end of the day, I'm like, I love her more for it, And yeah, it's just a lot of things that I'm not accustomed to
Mm-hmm.
that I didn't get to have before in my previous relationship or marriage. I have now, and it's opened up my realm, my eyes, and the feelings, and all these other shit that I never knew I was supposed to feel.
Yeah.
It's just, and sometimes I get overwhelmed because her family is so huge. God, I get overwhelmed, and it's like every week somebody's
Something's
birthday,
going on. Or someone's getting married
says
or
shit
something.
or that. I'm like, God damn, woman, when are we gonna get a break? And then, and we just had this conversation the other day. It's just like the way I came off, I felt bad because I was like, fuck, when would I get a break for myself or my own kids?
Sorry, man.
And she's like, why are you refraining? We're a family now.
Yeah.
I'm not used to that because I never had that.
But it's a blessing because one day life's going to slow down.
Even with my ex-wife, I didn't have all that. I mean, I had her side of the family, but they're
different.
They're different. They're not like her family is just. What's crazy is Christmas. Her family never met my kids. They all bought gifts and presents for them. It was crazy.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, I've never seen that or had that. They accepted them like their own. Oh, it made me feel so good.
That's awesome.
So, those are the things that in life we have to adapt and learn, right?
Mm-hmm.
Especially if we didn't have it before it come.
Yeah.
And so I took things for granted in that perspective. But it took her to say, baby, we're family now.
It's just hard. It's hard to make that change.
Because it was just me and my parents.
Yeah.
And my brother, and that was it. And then now it's just me and my mom. I don't have family, and that's why I hold my friends as my family, and all those people because they've touched my life,
Yeah.
And she's brought me into that realm of, hey, we're a big family now. All of us love each other. We support each other. And when I go to her family events or parties, they're just so loving and fun, and
Open.
they talk shit, and everybody's having a great time,
Mm-hmm.
And even if there's little tit tats or whatever, they get through it. They talk through it and whatever, right? But at the end of the day, I know what family is, and she has to remind me, this is what I'm trying to build. This is what it's about.
Yeah.
So it took that, and I felt bad, and right away I texted her because I had to get off the phone. I had to go to the clinic. I texted her. I was like, "Baby, I'm sorry. My reaction was uncalled for. I should have been more open-minded, but it was just overwhelming for me.
Yeah.
I'm just like, fuck, but I'm not used to it. And she knows that she has to get used to somebody like me coming in that world too.
Yeah.
But she already recognized that before me, so like those are the hardships that we go through, but that's communication,
Yeah.
right? So that's what I didn't have before. I didn't have open communication without regrets or
Mm-hmm.
fighting or turning into something worse, right? Me and her can talk about the craziest shit, the hardest shit, and at the end of the night, we love, we kiss, say sorry, and just like you said, go to bed. She'll never let me go to bed by myself.
Yeah.
She'll come out there in the living room with me or whatever. or before we go to bed, if something's bothering me and she knows it, let's talk. Fuck, I don't want to talk.
Yeah.
She's like, no, we're not going to bed like this. And I'm glad. I'm grateful that she can, because I'm not holding anything in, and I wake up, and I'm like, fuck yeah.
Refreshed.
Yeah. And so now I know what you mean by that. And because she's making me feel and understand those things, because I didn't have that before, And so I'm grateful for a lot of things.
Well, I'm proud, man. I'm proud of you, like, coming here and opening it up. And I'm proud of, like, the life change that you've made and the adjustments and, what you've overcame your entire life. That's very hard. A lot of people are just kind of call it quits, and it's a tough pill to swallow,
It is, but the biggest thing is swallow your goddamn pride.
Yeah.
Swallow your ego. You have to learn and adapt. And that's why, remember you asked me about personal training and coaching. I said, I'm always learning.
Mm-hmm.
I'm always watching people, observing. I'm learning. I've been doing this shit for 28 years. I'm learning still. The moment when somebody thinks they know it all, that's when they lost.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to tell you. And that's in life too. If you think you know it all, you want it all, you have it all, you lost. Never settle. I've never settled. I always want more for my family and myself. They deserve it. They deserve the best version of me, and I want the best version of them at all costs.
Right.
And that starts with us, right?
Yeah.
Lead by example. And that's what I want to instill in my kids, my friends, my clients, my patients. If you have that mindset and that attitude, it'll take you to places.
Yeah.
And you'll never be satisfied.
Yeah.
You won't. My satisfaction is watching everybody be successful, happy, and grow. And when I know all that, I've done my job.
Yeah.
That's my legacy.
Exactly.
Yep.
We're going to end it there with legacy.
Yep. That is my legacy. So
awesome, brother. Well, I want to thank you so much for coming out today. We're almost at 2 hours now. It felt like we were here for like 10 minutes.
I know.
This is crazy. But honestly, man, I want to thank you so much for opening up to us and sharing your vision and your mission and your purpose and everything that you've been through. It's tough, but I want to thank you so much for coming out and sharing that with us today.
No, I appreciate it, Alex, and thank you for thinking that I'm somebody out there that has that difference, and you saw that in me. And
of course.
So I told you I'm not going to hold back. I'll give you everything because that's who I am.
Good.
And this goes out to anybody out there. If you guys see me or Alex and we're out there, come say hi. If you need somebody to talk to, say hi.
Yeah.
If you need something from me, come to me or go to my clinics. Anybody who needs, treatment, help, anything, come to Crossroads Treatment Centers. All of us are there to help, and we have all the resources to get you back on the feet. And we truly do. We're not about anything else other than helping you, and we'll find a way. So
awesome. Well, thank you so much, Jimmy. I appreciate you again, and
thank you.
Thank you so much, man.
All right, brother.
Awesome.
Appreciate
Thanks, brother.
you.
Appreciate you.